Hey YouTube, it's Grawlys. Not done a video for a couple of weeks now, so I've been a little bit busy. Partly thanks to some nice people who threw a rock through our front room window, but that's all in hand. So I've been busy running around after that and not had much time to do some videos. So I thought I'd do one now, just showing you what we've got on the painting station. Got a couple of other bits to show you as well, but these that you can see here, these are the warlocks and the farseer for me Beltan army. As I've been painting these up this week, like I said, the last couple of nights just doing all the gems. That's a tedious job. There's dozens of tiny little gems on these things, so I've been doing them with the warlocks, the 5 here. And so these are all in white robes, but all the shading is done in blue, whereas with the farseer, all the shading is done in green, just to make him stand out and make him look a little bit different. So I'll just pull this one a little bit closer for you so you can see. So this is the farseer. And so I've still been mulling over what to do on bases for all of my army. I'll say initially it was going to be a sand coloured. I got some really pale coloured fine sand, but when I put that on, it just looks flat. It just doesn't have any texture to it. But Mrs. Grawlys come up with an idea for me, which I think is rather splendid, and it's to use silica carbide. Now, for those of you that are not into crystals, I'll show you what silica carbide is. I've got a piece up here. This is it. It's a crystal, and I know a few of you from watching previous videos know that I like using crystals, but that looks like just a grey kind of lumpy rock. But the magic bit is when I turn it, what happens? Like a rainbow. Isn't that beautiful stuff? So the plan is to get some of this crushed up to put on the bases of all my Beltan Eldar. So you can see all the colours there: blues, greens, yellows, pinks, purples. Wonderful looking stuff. So that's going to be going on the bases of all these, all my Eldar. You can see, if you watch the avatar video, see I did a crystal weapon on there in blue on my avatar. I've tried to do crystal weapons on these again, same techniques. They're just a little bit smaller, so it's not quite come out as well as the avatar one, but these are purple crystals, like pinks and purples, to make it a little bit different. And they've all got the similar weapons on the witch blades and the singing spears, to make them a bit more cohesive as a unit, but again all done in the Beltan Eldar colours. Now the other thing that I've got to show you, which these are all work in progress, I've got to do some runes as well round the robes. That's going to be a 10-0 size brush and some very fine lines to get them done. So hopefully over the next few days, next week or two, they'll be done and finished. The other thing I've been doing is about 6-8 weeks ago, one of the little Grawlys came home and asked a question saying, "Dad, have you ever heard of Dungeons and Dragons?" Now I nearly wet myself, because obviously those of you that know, Dungeons and Dragons isn't a new game, it's been around ages. I used to play first edition way back in high school, and that was many moons ago. But he was such excited about this, he's thinking this is a new game, you know, this 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons. So what we did, we ordered some figures, Reaper minis, which we found for the characters they wanted to play, and these are some of the minis. That's a little dwarf that we've painted up in gold and silver armour. So these have all been based all on the same thing. This next one is Mrs. Grawlys. So a nice little, if it focuses. There we go. Alicia Light's Edge, this figure's called. And this is a wizard figure. And so I like these Reaper Minis, there's such really good detail, fine detail in these. And they seem a lot smaller to paint than the Games Workshop figures. So it's a lot finer detail, but I'm enjoying painting these. These are all work in progress, these now. So over the next couple of weeks, we've got another figure here. This is going to be one of mine. This is a warrior called Ulf. He's a Viking, which suits me down to the ground. We've got Silas, who's a cleric. You can see on these two, it's mainly the skin and the first coat of the metallic colours for the armour. And so I'm still not sure what colour scheme to do his robes in. But again, here's another one work in progress. And one of the other little Grawlys, or the biggest little Grawly, this is his. It's a halfling robe. He's painting this up himself, or started to paint it. So he keeps doing a little bit at a time on that, but he'll get that finished eventually. And then we'll have some Dungeons and Dragons figures. So I hope you like seeing them. Again, they're work in progress, so I'll show more of them as they get more completed more. I'll move these out of the way. The other thing I was doing a few weeks ago was thinking about some terrain. And I was just having to play around just to get some just some basic little terrain pieces. So one of the kids had some spare modelling clay, so I decided to build some little blocks, build some walls, and this is what came out. So again, just basic like play school modelling clay that was bought from Early Learning Centre, if I remember right. So just the stuff that the kids use to build little clay models, just little clay blocks. Let them dry and glue them all together into one in an L shape, one in a straight line, and just put them on bases. So say if you see that, it's cake board. So any spare cakes that we have in the house, and so once not spare cakes, but once the cakes have eaten, the cake boards go into my bits box, and that all gets used as materials for building terrain and scenery. And the other thing, just had to go at building a sandbag emplacement. Same thing, but obviously rather than being blocks, I did them as a sandbag. Just pinched each end and did a texture on the. That's the little girl who's coming up from school, so I'll just pause and be back in a minute. So the other thing that I did with the walls was this one again, based on cake board, but instead of little concrete blocks or little stone blocks, just did them into sandbags. Just used a fabric for the texture, just an edge to hint where they're sewn together, and that's dry brush. So that could probably do with just a little bit of finishing off, maybe with a slightly browner colour than that. That's quite grey, but that's supposed to represent a little terrain piece for sandbags. The other thing that I wanted to show you, something I did a while ago, because littlest Grawly wanted to do Imperial Guard. Forgive him, he doesn't know Imperial Guard, come on. So the vehicles are quite expensive, but the vehicles are quite important, because the Imperial Guard army are very much a mechanised thing. So what I did is a couple of these, some chimeras. Now you might look at that and kind of go, that's not a Games Workshop model. No, it's not. It's scratch built. This is all built from cardboard and plastic tubes and wooden skewers. And these guns at the back here, believe it or not, are actually tooth flossers, like little brushes. But they're all pared down and shaped to make it look like the guns. But Mrs. Grawlys wasn't too happy again. These little rivets that I put on here, I ended up raiding her nail art supplies for them. These are little nail beads and jewels that were put on there, but I thought they were excellent as rivets on there. So I invested in some of my own since. So little chimeras. And there's the other one there. So these were just basically painted up, but all built out of mainly cardboard, cut out from a template and built. So that one, just in response to Rob Diggs Gaming. So we were just having a discussion the other day on it's not so easy anymore to find templates online for paper hammer models. With I think a lot of the sites have been restricted because of copyright and Games Workshop stuff, but hey ho. So that's what's on the table, and that's a couple of other bits that I've recently been looking at and doing. I'm really liking this silica carbide thing. I'll show you that again. It's really good, isn't it? I really like this stuff. So
get your fingers off.
No, Mrs. Grawlys worried I'm going to pinch that piece and destroy that, but I'm not. That's a nice piece. I'm going to get some more. But that's good. The piece that I get, or the dust and the broken up bits that I'm going to get, that'll all get crushed up, and that'll be used for the bases. So that's what's happening in Grawlys Lair, the work in progress and some of the stuff that's been doing. So hope you all like them, and I hope you tune in for the next video very soon. Take care. Bye bye.